Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
How goes?
How will this work?
As soon as I see the other, we'll call to order.
Hi.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
Fine, Barbara. How are you?
I'm fine. I've had my first shot. I'm good.
I've
Yay.
got the second one.
Good
You
job.
Good.
I'm better yet.
The only negative is I have had a headache for 3 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right
Oh,
across
ooh.
your forehead. And several neighbors walking their dogs have said, yeah, that's the norm. And I thought, great.
Oh,
So,
well, it's a little enough.
yes. Oh,
Remember, we had to go to the south of France for ours because because Parsons doesn't give them in St. Louis. No, actually, it was Cape.
I
Did you
had
really?
another resident tell me she and her husband took a road trip to get theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long story, darling. We'll tell you later.
Okay. Tell me later. Yes. Give me a call and tell me later. We're just waiting for one more member right now.
Is that Mary Beth?
Barbara,
Yes.
we are all set. We have quorum.
We have a quorum?
Yep,
Okay.
Mary Beth is here. She just doesn't have her video
Okay.
on.
Cool.
Good
Tell
evening.
her to get out the bullwhip and whip those kids into shape.
Good evening and welcome to the Community Art and Culture Commission. I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:41 p.m. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and do attendance. Ward 1, Jane. Okay. Ward 2, Bill's here.
Yep.
Ward 3, Michelle. Mary Beth.
We got a big M.
Yes.
We're at a swim meet and she went to the grocery store, but she wanted me to get on the Zoom for her and she's going to be right back.
Okay.
Proxy. That's a proxy.
Ward 4, David. I see David. All right.
David's here. Yep.
Okay. With that said, I just want to remind everyone that we do have a vacancy in Ward 1, 1 and 2, a vacancy in Ward 2, a vacancy in Ward 4, and there are 2 at-large positions that are vacant. So if you know of anyone who's interested in the arts, please encourage them to fill out an application. Okay?
I think Mary Beth, because she doesn't live in Ward 3 anymore, is satisfying one of the at-larges. Not that it matters. I don't think it
Okay.
does, but I remember her saying that she doesn't live in Ward 3 anymore. So technically, she's
Okay.
an at-large, I guess.
Okay, I'll clarify all of that then, but I'm glad you said something. Okay. Let's move on to the approval of minutes from January 13th of 2021. Do I have a motion to approve?
I so move.
Okay, do I have a second?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Are there any corrections or amendments to the minutes?
No.
There she is.
Oh my gosh.
Bring the gin.
Okay.
I'm glad you could make it. I have one amendment to the minutes. In looking at this under unfinished business, bedtime stories, where it said Barb briefly shared, but throughout the whole set of minutes, it says Alderman Hughes. Just for consistency, we may want to change the Barb to Alderman Hughes, just for consistency.
Sorry
That's
about that. I'll
appropriate.
fix that.
No, that's all. So with that said, are there, with the amendment or the change, Is everyone in favor of the minutes?
Yes.
Yes? Yes? Okay. Any opposed? No. Okay, great. Super, you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to unfinished business. Has everyone had a chance to view the inscription? It was sent out again this evening. Shall we discuss?
The
Any thoughts?
Bermud,
I'm sorry?
the Bermud inscription,
Yes, the
Mhm.
depth of form.
depth
Mhm.
of form.
Are there any thoughts on that from the commission members?
I
Looks
think
good.
we ought to add something about the sculpture, like date he was born.
Okay,
A lot of times you see that in museums to sort of identify them for the period that they're working in.
okay.
It seems to me like we ought to do a little something more on Burma. And I'm sorry, Katie, I should have been more cognizant of that when I read this initially.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, would you all mind giving me some time to work on this a bit and getting back to Katie?
How does the commission feel?
It's fine by me.
Yeah.
Fine by me.
Move to continue?
When do
Yes.
you need it done? When were we aiming for?
Yeah,
Katie?
As soon as we make a decision on it, so then we can get it printed and then installed out there with the sculpture.
Right, right.
oh, okay, so,
Probably.
it's at least within living memory, right?
Okay,
Okay, would you mind letting me do that, please, Barbara, and commission, and then I'll get together with Katie, and then we can resubmit this at our next meeting?
okay. How does the commission feel? Do you want to move to continue?
Yes.
Does that get
That's fine. That's fine.
a second?
Yeah.
All in favor of move to continue?
Aye.
I just have a question. How long does it take once we get, once we finalize it, how long does it take to actually have the plaque produced?
So it'll just depend on when we submit it, how many like emergency orders that they have that will take priority over us, but typically it can take anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Katie,
So-
we can't hear you.
Insane.
Yeah. Have a
It's
little
because she's
trouble.
got the earpiece. She said typically 3 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Oh, my God. All right. Well, we can go with it as it is if it's going to be that long. Whatever you all think.
No, I don't mind. Bill, if you can like rip something out in the next week or so and get it to Katie, then I think that's fine. I just don't want to wait till next month because then I feel like, well, let's just set a
Oh,
deadline.
yeah. Absolutely. No. Within a week, I'll have something to you, okay?
And then instead of waiting until the next meeting, could Katie just send it to all of us and we think it's good? She can run
Right.
with it?
I'll email it all to you, okay?
okay,
Good.
is everyone all right with that? We won't move to continue?
Sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah. Then we can just start ticking things off and getting some stuff done. That'd be great.
okay.
Can you
Good.
guys hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Mary Beth, you look wonderful tonight.
You're so I ran over from the rest.
Birthday was really good for you.
Just 25 again.
Easily.
I've been 25 several times. Okay, let's move on to the resident survey. We need to vote on the questions so we can get the survey out ASAP. So has everyone had a chance to look at that? The survey questions, we want to make it short and to the point. Any input, discussion?
It looked pretty good to me. How are we going to deliver the survey?
Katie, didn't we talk about putting this online?
Yep, so we'll have it available on the city website, and we can also send it through a push notification.
Okay. Any questions about the survey? Is everyone comfortable with it? Or do you think it provides enough information? Any thoughts? Ready to vote? Call
I
the
mean,
question. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was fine, kind of covers off level
Okay.
of importance as well as cultural activities that are going to be important. And it's the stuff that we've been talking about. So, I'm comfortable with it myself.
Okay. Call for a motion.
Move to accept it.
Okay, is there a second?
A second.
How are we going to, just a question, how are we going to follow up on the effectiveness of this questionnaire?
I think, to me, it will be shared with the commission.
I see.
It will help
So
us
the Board of Aldermen won't be looking at
activities.
this?
I can take it before the Board of Aldermen as well.
Okay. I was just wondering what sort of tool we were going to use this for.
To help us plan
To
activities. for
influence
coming
the,
year. Mhm.
to influence the Board of Aldermen?
Pardon me?
To influence the Board of Aldermen?
I think it's more to help us.
Oh,
plan
that
for the
way.
coming year. Yeah.
No,
Yes.
I was just wondering, why are we doing this? Is it for us? Is it for the community? I'm a little at loss on this.
Okay. Anyone else? Have any thoughts?
I mean, my understanding was that we were going to send this out and it was going to be results tabulated and then shared with us to kind of help us guide and direct the efforts.
Mhm.
All right.
To gain some input from the residents, make
Mhm.
sure that we are providing activities that they're interested in.
Gotcha. How many responses will be needed to really make this work as far as our needs are concerned? In other words, if we have 5 people that come back with information, how has this been thought out?
Anyone?
I mean, this is going to cost money, right, and time, and
Well, I think it's a valid question to ask. My thinking is that we would go with the number of responses that we get, but if we get a really small amount, a limited number, perhaps we need to try again.
Right. I would suggest that just in case this doesn't
Mhm.
fly well.
Katie?
And I'm worried about
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry.
If we're just going to throw this on the Town and Country website, well, Barbara, what sort of impact do we get from that?
Okay.
I mean,
Katie?
you guys of the Board of Aldermen have probably tried that before, or maybe not. But what other source do we have to go through other than the mails or the email or going to various members of our community,
Mhm.
to members of the community, meaning the heads of our subdivisions and all that, which I think is really the only place we really can go to find out what they think about what they think about. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to grasp here a good source of response that we can look into. David, if we're getting some sort of attempting to get some sort of response from people, we really need to go to a strong area of the community that we know is going to, be concrete for us. That's my question.
I think I think we have an opportunity here, certainly with the website and those type of things, to issue the survey. So I would suggest going with the website, the town newsletter, the concert that we have coming up, as well, to have printed sheets, that type of thing. And try to, to your point, try to really reach out and be assertive and aggressive in getting feedback. So I would keep the survey live for a couple of months,
Okay.
and try to look at other opportunities to get it out there and try to get some feedback.
Are we fairly secure in what we're doing to promote this thing so that people know it's there and they'll respond? In other words, how is my neighbor next door going to know that this is going to be out there? Or
Okay.
yours?
I think that's, go ahead.
So I think what Dave's saying is right. We need to keep it live for a bit. I don't think just putting it on the website is going to be good enough, because not enough people just go to the website to look things up. But all of the aldermen send out at least monthly updates. So, I know Barbara, you and Pam do one for Ward 1, and I get one from Ward 3. I actually get them from all the wards, but you can have a link on there. And then as people are reading those, they could hit the link and then, and say, we want to know. I'll write the blurb for you if you want me to, but just a quick intro of what the survey is. And we want to get feedback. Click the link here, and then it takes you to the survey. Because I think a lot more people read those aldermanic updates than are just going to the website randomly.
Oh, Michelle, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If you get them.
Yeah. Right.
I live in Ward 2. I get nothing.
Oh, really?
Is Fauci dead?
Well, I get them from
the other
I know
alderperson, Butler,
I know.
is out circulating these nonsense things about it's going to cost the community hundreds of thousands of dollars to redo. Guys, we get nothing in 2. I thank God for Barb, because we get our stuff from Ward 1. Other than that, I get nothing.
Well, I know, and I've talked to some of the Ward 1 aldermen about this. I think it'd be great if, and I don't mean to go off track, but if you could have one that goes out to the whole community instead of getting 4 of them from different aldermen.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but Barb, I think you guys are potentially working on that. I hope, because that would be great. Because if we had one source and it's from all the aldermen, it's an update. Even if certain things happen in particular wards, like Ward 1 people only care about this, or Ward 2, you can at least go to your ward if there's specific things, but everything that's general for town and country can be in that one update. So I think you guys are working on that. I've heard from other aldermen that that's a push, but regardless, that's at least another avenue for us to get this survey out if we think this survey is important.
Mhm.
Right.
Good points. Mhm.
Very good points.
Katie?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch base on how to send this survey out. So as far as like our push notifications, I mentioned that earlier, we can also put it in the bulletin boards, the website, the Town and Country newsletter, the Times, the Parks and Recreation Times, the Alderman newsletters, and then the Community Art and Culture Commission booth at all of our events that we have.
Mhm.
That can be at the concert series, that can be at any of our city events. It doesn't have to be just the concert series.
I'm going to back Michelle up and say I don't ever look up those things, but I read every alderman message that comes into me.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do too.
Yeah. If you get them.
Okay. Well, you ready to vote? Do you want to do the survey? Any thoughts on the survey?
I vote we do the survey.
Second.
Second? Any other discussion? Okay, ready to vote? All in favor of the survey?
Um,
Okay.
So the next steps are then Katie creates it. Is it like a Google Doc or something like that then it's gonna go out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Katie.
It'll be created on the city website, and you don't have to have a login to be able to fill it out.
Okay.
So it'll go, when you click on the link that will be attached with the alderman newsletters and et cetera, it'll take you directly to that form.
So then for the aldermen that are putting those monthly updates, how will that get communicated to them so that they can put it in their update? Like, I know Barb can tell Pam to do it for Ward
Right.
1, but what about 2, 3, 4?
I can send that to them and ask
Okay.
I can send it to them and ask them if they would be willing to put it in.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to write something up and give it to you for them so that it appears on there, or you can just take that?
Yeah, I'll just send it to them. I'm in communication with them all.
Got it.
Okay, are we good? All in
Yeah.
favor? Didn't hear any negative. Okay, great, okay. Katie, you want to give an update on the bedtime stories? Just before you start, as an aside, I did talk to Pam and I talked to Ward 2, and they'll be more than happy to put something in there about the bedtime stories in their newsletters. So, okay. Katie, you're on.
So as far as publishing companies and getting, hearing back from them, I have been successful with Dr. Seuss. So I have sent a list of the approved books to Marita Villa, Fritz with Marita Villa, and they are working on the videos now. So as soon as I get those in, I will connect with David, because I believe last meeting we, decided that David would oversee this and let him take a look at it all and then go from there.
Great.
Do we have any more feedback on how many people are tuning in? And have we only just done the one?
Correct.
And is that out there where people can keep going back and viewing it, or is it already off?
Yeah, it's off after the week.
Okay, so it runs for 1 week.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
we
we
can extend that and do it because originally I think we had discussed about doing one video per week, but with how hard it's getting, publishing or the copyrights for it, we might want to reconsider doing maybe one a month or something like that, so then it can stay on longer.
Yeah, and also, I think we should go back and see who's watching it, because if we've got 5 people watching this and it's so much work and I don't know what it entails,
Right.
then I don't know if we keep doing it, especially with summer coming up and things opening up. You know what I mean? People getting out of their houses.
No,
I don't
think-
know. I just don't want it to be so much work for Maritaville, for Dave, if we've got like hardly anybody tuning into this.
Right.
Right? I
Mhm.
don't know. How does everybody else feel? I don't want to be I'm not trying to throw wet
So
water.
what
on
is the bottom line? Who is tuning in?
I know, that's what I don't know.
Hello,
I'm sorry.
David. Do we have a bottom line here?
Well, since we had it when we first released it, it only stayed open for a week. So we didn't have very many people at the beginning, but we also, the way that it was pushed out, I think could have been better, not as, and it was new program. So not as many people knew about it. So I think until we get our second video out there, so we can, get word out about it a little bit more, the aldermen putting it in their newsletters, I think we'll have better feedback with that.
But I also, when we were going to do this, it was because everything was so shut down. Kids weren't going to school. It was like, we got to try to help. But now that schools are open, people are there. Summer is going to be here before you know it. I just don't know how many people you'll get to tune in to something like that. And I just don't want whoever's working so hard on this to be working unnecessarily.
Right.
Unless Marie DeVille loves it and the people in their community really enjoy producing them, and it doesn't cost us anything, then, that's another thing to consider. But no, that's just my 2 cents.
No, I'm looking for input. Absolutely.
I guess I would
Barbara,
say
Oh.
try it out, see what happens on the next one.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Katie's got some good ideas to have the have the members of the Alderman board help push it as well.
Yeah, I'm
And,
not saying kill it. I just want to
Mhm.
remember when we started it, and I just want to make sure it's worth it.
Mhm.
I guess.
Bill, did you have a thought?
No,
Okay. All right.
no. I just wanted to be sure people were watching this, and it was being fruitful in the
Yeah.
end result.
Okay. All right, are we ready to move on? Katie, anything else? Okay, thank you. David, would you give us a report on your scavenger hunt,
Sure.
please?
Absolutely. So we had proposed a number of ideas for the scavenger hunt, and then just to refresh for everyone, the idea here is something that's based on and built upon the pandemic and the issue of keeping people occupied while they can't go out. It could still be something that can be done post-pandemic, just in terms of activity and having fun and all that kind of stuff. So we had about 12 different ideas that were tied into the scavenger hunt, and it was everything from design a new T-shirt for the scavenger hunt to attend a city meeting, and do a selfie there, that type of thing. So we tried to have a little bit of fun there, and the idea would be that we would ask people to participate. They would get kind of a T-shirt or some kind of logoed merchandise. The entry fee to participate, we threw out the number of $20. And then another aspect was that we would reach out to the businesses in the community to see if they could help support it as well, and try to use this as an opportunity to drive traffic to the businesses as well. If you will, an individual business might be a stop in the scavenger hunt. Get a picture of yourself in front of whatever business it might be, the Starbucks, or whatever it might be. So that's the intent. In terms of cost and promotion, I did catch up with Katie a little while ago, and what we can do is we have to be a little bit cautious and careful about promoting on the town Facebook, but definitely it could be hosted, managed on the website. And Katie, definitely jump in if I'm misspeaking here. I could, for example, on my Facebook page, set up an event page that talks about it, promotes it as David Murphy, not as Town and Country, that type of thing. So I think it's doable, and the lift in terms of marketing dollars would be relatively minimal. It would be merchandise that we'd have to get and fund for that. And then the work would be getting the program onto the website and building it that way. Probably the biggest lift, honestly, is just getting people to help out, and people to reach out to the businesses, work that front, and then also kind of help drive the activity. So I think where we left it was that, I saw on the attachments that Katie sent out, there's the presentation of the ideas for the scavenger hunt. And I think where we left it is that we want to narrow those down to see if there's, about 8 ideas that we can focus on. Another issue would be, can we get people in this group or others that can volunteer to help out? And then also, what do you think about pursuing this right now, especially with the changes going on? Again, my feeling is that I think it could be done in a pandemic or not during a pandemic. It's just a scavenger hunt, and it's 2 weeks of activity to get people kind of engaged and have a little fun. So those are kind of the points that I would throw out. The ideas that would be narrowed down, and then the commitment from the team.
Good. Any other thoughts from the commission members?
Did everybody, or was everybody able to get that document printed out?
Did you see it on the attachments?
I didn't print it. I'm just looking at it on my phone.
I have it printed out in front of me.
Yeah. I can see it all
I
though.
couldn't get it printed out. I don't know why.
Okay.
Let
Well,
me try.
we would need to move forward. We need to have 8 different ideas so we can put the activity into action.
What are we thinking time frame here, Dave, or it just depends on when we get everything?
Whenever we got everything going on. I mean, yes, sir. If you want, I can actually share. Well, if Katie allows me, I can actually share a screen and go through it.
I tell you, David, it's happening. Oh,
It's
neat.
happening.
It's
That's good, I
happening.
think.
And it's good. Yeah. Okay,
Is it
I'm
good
good.
now?
Go ahead. I'm just catching up with you.
All right. May I grab screen, Katie? Is that all right?
Yes, I'm not sure how that works.
I know.
Uh,
All right, there you go. Do you see okay?
I can't see anything on my
Oh,
end.
really?
We just see you, Dave. Oh, there we
There
go.
we go.
Yay.
Can you see all the pictures of everyone in the way though? There we go.
We see the one with the, we see the very first.
Very first page with the little boy.
Cool it up.
Scavenger
boy.
hunt.
Let me kind of go through it. I'll go it relatively quickly, just in the interest of time. I'm going to close my screen here just for minimal distractions. So again, the idea here is to create some fun, a virtual event. But again, these things can be done, managed virtually, but it can be done during times when people are running around doing stuff too. So it kind of builds on a sense of community in the town, supporting local businesses through offers and incentives, urgent participation through awareness. The whole idea here is that it's an activity. It's an event that all ages can participate on, and it's just allowing people to use their creativity, a little bit of art skills where appropriate, that type of thing. It would be great to get at least 100 households participating at $20 per household or family, and then seeing if we can target, a handful of local businesses to really help drive this as well. Then, just in terms of ideas, and this is before some of the recent political changes and all that kind of good stuff. So, but it could be things as simple as attend an online coffee with the mayor or a board member. Just take a screenshot of you participating in some kind of civic activity, that type of thing. Another idea could be, collect your Cardinals souvenirs and create a picture of one of our community's great features. So it's kind of like a collage, creating a horse discovery with Cardinals gear, that type of thing. So it's something kind of creative that way. Another idea is just a poem for all time. Just composing a limerick format poem to our original community. A diner's choice could be order lunch and dinner from two local restaurants and post a picture of the favorite item, that type of thing. So just kind of reinforce the local business. Mask design, because everyone's doing masks, create your own mask, create something with some aspect of town and country in there, just design it. Sports, obviously a big draw. Blues win the cup again, create the town and country cup, using items in your house, create a new trophy for the Blues to chase this coming season. My favorite things, create a song to the tune of My Favorite Things, just talking about things around town and country. Design the scavenger hunt t-shirt for the next year, just having a logo, that type of thing. Thank a local business. Design your own thank you card and present it to that local business. Take a picture of that presentation, that type of thing. We created this several months ago when New Year's was coming up. So this one could go away, but it'll be a New Year's hat, same type of thing. You design a New Year's hat. Everyone was making sourdough. Everyone was making sourdough bread. I think some people still are. So design, a sourdough bread. So make your sourdough bread and decorate it in some fashion that's, representative of the town or the time, that type of thing. And then again, we created this when New Year's was coming up. So resolutions, that might be something that's a little old too. So it'd just be about 8 ideas or so that we'd focus on. Certainly the team could come up with additional ideas. And what we would do then is just promote that, promote that on the website. Sign up for the scavenger hunt. Here are your 8 tasks that you have to do. You have 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it might do to submit your answers or your creativity into the group. We would act as judges, picking the winner of all, certainly people that did all of the events, as well as someone who exercised their creativity. Everyone who participates get a certificate of completion form. They would all get a t-shirt, something like that, with a logo on there talking about town and country scavenger hunt, that type of thing. And again, we pull in local businesses to help support this as well. Again, in terms of the program structure, a lot of it's web-based and then promoting it that way too. there would be some cost involved in getting the merchandise, and then working with the local businesses to get them involved as well. So that's kind of a quick overview on the program. So I just want to share, and again, we can update the ideas. Some of them probably are a little bit out of date at this point, but just with the intent that was built in there. So,
David, this is wonderful. It really is.
Yeah.
This,
a lot of effort.
honestly, this
Thank
could
you.
really kick off well. And what we need to do, since I've been involved with a lot of fundraising things, is that we need to get sponsors behind this.
Mhm.
Now we've got some new folks moving into the town square. And what could be better than to have the Del Pietros and the Diamond Queen or the King or whatever it is, and all those other nail house support this thing, and pump in several $1,000s to make it all happen. Because it'll promote their businesses. They're opening here in TNC. They're trying to get people to come. What could be better? This is dynamite.
And I think, in terms of timing, I think, Michelle, you had asked about that. I think we build the timing around when we think the program should get kicked off. And to Bill's comments, maybe if we looked at, end of the summer, going into the fall or something like that. But in the interim, we build the relationships with the businesses that are coming in, and emphasize and create a sponsorship level and make this kind of bigger. And, we can craft out the ideas, but the part that I'm kind of excited about is that, it creates a spirit of energy. And, scavenger hunts happen during pandemics, but they happen when they're not a pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
So
Most of them, I
time-
think. I mean, I've been on them when there's no pandemics.
Yeah. They're just kind of fun. They're fun and goofy and fun, silly, in a good way.
What do we need
to everybody together?
And Michelle?
Yeah, I just, so my question is, so what do we need the sponsorship for? To pay for all this? The logistics and stuff? Because you're charging $20 a family, which might be high, I'll be honest, because they're having to go buy additional things and take pictures. Some of the scavenger hunts actually don't cost anything, and you win something, which kind of increases people's ability to want to do it, because they're going to get something. But I'm not saying they wouldn't pay for it. I mean, they pay to participate in the turkey trot too. But what are we using the money for? Is it all to pay for it? I mean, it's not really a fundraising for us, right? I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out the money part. Are we just trying to cover our costs, or are we making money to do something?
Yeah, cost.
Yeah. Because I think we need to figure out what we think our costs.
Here.
Right.
You got to publish stuff.
Right.
And
I guess if we had kind of an outline of what we think this program would cost, then it might help us judge what we should charge and or how much we would need.
Well, we don't have a budget here yet.
I know.
Have to do.
But if we kind of know, okay, well, t-shirts are going to cost this, it's going to cost this much for the website, then we kind of have a ballpark, which will help us determine what we should charge for it and or what kind of sponsorships we need.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree. But I'm not sure about the cost of it, because I think if you're supposed to go to the restaurants and purchase food and do all of that, that is your donation to the program. And like with the turkey trot, you pay for it, but you get a free t-shirt.
Right.
So it's a give and take whenever you do a run like that or something. And I love the art activities and things but that still takes printing and of a family's cost. So I think you've kind of touched on a good question. Because I think the ideas are fabulous. I just think for me, even I was like, what? I have to pay to do this?
Yeah.
So it might be something to think about. And maybe that's what the sponsorship by the people that want to be a part of it, that their ad is going to go on it, then more people would go to their restaurant and purchase dinner there. Then so something to think about.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Because if we're asking them to go buy something and they have to pay a fee, And I know that was only one of the suggestions, Dave, I know, but I think that's a great one. Of all the ones you had, that was one of my favorites, because these restaurants need our help more than ever.
Hmm.
And I think that's a great way to try to get folks. And then people love taking selfies. I think it'd be a great thing to put on our Facebook page, you know, or people, we'd have to have, I guess, a monitor, right? Somebody who, I don't know who admins our Facebook page for Town and Country, or even if we have one, but somebody would have to be monitoring what people are posting to make sure it's, who monitors that? Does anybody know?
Katie?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
Morgan.
Okay.
Morgan does?
Yep, Morgan does that.
So what I propose then is, you know, please do take a look at the presentation. Other ideas that you have in terms of activities, and then I don't know, Katie, is that something that you and I can kind of sit down and kind of look at, like roughly what the cost would be? You know, there'd be definitely a program that would go out to businesses. So there'd be a business package. There'd be the logoed merchandise. There'd be like banners or signage around town as well, just to kind of create the visibility. You know, I was looking at the budget that was set up for the concerts, and it kind of got me thinking that it might be around that same, maybe not as high as that, but you know, some of the same items that were on there, you know, could be reflected in this. You know, I think probably off the top of my head, you know, the whole program, I couldn't imagine being more than, you know, 4,000 or so, you know, and that's just grabbing a number out of the top of the head, just to promote
In
it.
which case you could probably get the whole thing covered by sponsorships, you know?
Yeah.
Or nominal fee, like $5. People
Yeah.
will pay $5, 20. I don't know.
Mhm.
David, I think we can definitely sit down and figure out the budget for it. Would it be possible for all the members to email me and submit, if we're only doing 8 out of 12, to email me within the next week and give me your 8? So then we can start with, you know, we have an actual guideline, or we have a guide of what we're budgeting for.
Yes, I can commit to giving you feedback and picking my top 8.
Mhm.
And because we are opening up a little bit more, can we have some of them be like a traditional? I mean, I know the dining one is, because you're actually ordering food and at the establishment, but I'm wondering if there's anything else where you could go, you know, where you go to Straub's and you say something and they give you something, you know, because some of those scavenger hunts are like that. You have to get a clue, although that could be
Good point.
troublesome. That could be hard for their staff. I don't know. They might love it, or they might be like, we don't have the time for this.
You know, I think we're open to a lot of ideas, you know,
Okay.
especially as things are opening up. So yeah, I think everyone would get the spirit. It's supposed to be kind of tied back into the town, of course, kind of celebrating our history, our culture, our businesses, those type of things. So
Yeah.
anywhere we can kind of point back to town and country.
And they've done this. Hey, Mary Beth, do you remember when the kids were in school? Was it last year? And we were doing that. It was the school-wide, we were reading the same book if you wanted to. And they did kind of like a little scavenger hunt where if you went to Straub's and you said something about the book, they would give you something. And then you took your picture in front of Straub's, and they did one at Starbucks. So somebody from our school worked and did something like that.
Something as simple as a cookie.
Yeah.
Because every kid that walks into a Schnucks or grocery store can go and get a free cookie.
Yeah, it was something like that, but they had to say something, like they had to a line from the book to prove they were reading the book. It was very cute. But this could be something different, like they just have to say something, or I don't know, tell a joke like a Halloween. I don't know. We can come up with something, but then it's identifying the person at the store that knows you're coming in and knows how to reciprocate. But that could be fun for kids too, to like get them out of the house. And
they should go in and say Barbara Hughes is the best, right? I mean,
No, I won't have.
or some sort of statistic about, I don't know.
Yeah.
We could leave like little clues, like something about the city, and then they have to research it, figure out what the clue is, go into the establishment, say the answer. Town and Country was established in what year? And then they get the little piece of candy or something.
What if kids did drawings
Mhm.
and they submitted a drawing to a business? And then the business would give them something in return, and then the business would display those.
Mhm.
I think that'd
Yeah.
be cute too.
Like Trader Joe's does. You know,
Yeah,
like Trader Joe's has those, the kids pick it up, color it, and they hang it up on their window.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's all think about it. And when do you want what's our deadline? We have to operate with deadlines in this group. Tell us when you want our feedback,
Yes.
Dave.
Yes,
I
let's
agree.
see. What about
Um,
next Friday, the 19th?
Yeah.
Sure.
That gives everybody a week and a half to really sit down and think about it and pick their top ones.
Okay. Does everyone want to look at the ones that are provided, or do you want to stick with those? Or do you want anyone to come up with another idea? I'm posing the question.
I would ask that people look at the ones that are in there already,
Right.
but also add to it. You know, as I mentioned, there are some that are probably past their prime at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I add one thing to that, Dave?
Sure.
So if you submit a activity to me that's not in this list, if you'll just give a little description of what exactly you're thinking, so then when I forward that on, everybody has that information there.
Yes. Katie, do you want the who, what, when, where, how, and why, or?
I think as long as it's just, you get the gist of it, and then
Okay.
if we decide that we want to go with it, we can, meet and discuss in more detail.
Okay.
To thank a local business, that may be something where if kids did a drawing or a painting or an illustration, some kind of picture, that might be something that they could display.
Yep.
A business could display. We could apply that to that one. Okay, Katie, do we need a vote on anything, or we're good, aren't we? You're on mute.
I forgot I was muted. Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Okay. All right. So please submit your ideas. And do you need a top 8, Katie, that good group is thinking of, the commission?
Yeah, I think that's what we decided on last meeting.
Yes. Okay. The
Top
top 8. Okay. To her by Friday, March the 19th. Email them to her, please. Okay. Thank you all for your hard work on this and good ideas. Thank you.
Nice job, Dave.
Pardon me?
I just said nice job, Dave.
Really. Thank you very much.
Yeah, really nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of effort went into this. That's good. Thank you. All right, Katie, you want to give a report on the concert series?
Yep, I will go through this. Okay, so Ann and I sat down. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Ann and I sat down and kind of discussed different fees that would be associated with the concerts. So on that second sheet in that packet that I sent you guys, you'll see our one-time fees that we'll have as far as signage and a thermometer. At this time, St. Louis County is still requiring us to have that. And then you'll see the breakdown of the fees per concert. So for the July concert, we have School of Rock scheduled. I'm still waiting to hear what their fee is for that. So once I get that information, I'll be able to fill it in and I can get all the updated information to you guys once it's all complete. As far as the September concert, we are looking for a band. So if you guys know anybody that's interested, please give them my contact information and then I can connect with them so I can get, their bio, little portfolio and some videos so I can compile it all together and send it to you guys so then you can look at it and decide, vote on a band to fill that spot.
It's the second Friday, right?
Yes, second Friday of the month. Yeah. I believe that's September 10th.
I've got somebody I know, as long as the date works, would do it. We had them signed up last year. And then what?
Michelle Campbell wanted to know if the Martins band would play.
That's who I'm talking about.
I know it is. That's what I'm laughing.
Yeah.
About the Martins. I go,
Yes.
give Michelle a minute, she'll say it.
What's the name of their
moon?
band?
Explode the Moon.
Explode the
And
Moon.
they're really good. And they we had them lined up last year. They were going to play Fire and Ice last year.
Gotcha.
And then everything got canceled. So I good friends with the band and they're eager to play. So
Yeah, if
I
you wouldn't
will-
mind reaching out to them.
yeah, I will follow up with them right away and have them, I'll put you guys in touch with each other.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. And so then continuing on the third and fourth page, you'll see the concert series sponsorship opportunities. Again, Ann and I kind of looked at our expenses and from previous years and events, what we've been successful with price range and the package that they receive. So this is what we were thinking. If you guys have any discussion on it, please let me know. The one section that we're still needing a little bit of information on is the second page of the sponsorship form, where we have the dates posted there and themes. So we're thinking if we theme each concert, it might attract people to them a little bit more. As we start to open up more, the vendors that we would have at those concerts would hopefully go along with the theme that we have set.
Okay.
And then
Any other questions from the commission?
Excuse me, did I read someplace that all of this was sold out?
so the May concert is sold out.
Can you take us through the bands? Because that's not on here, right? I'm not seeing that anywhere.
It is not. Let me pull it up so I make sure I put the correct band with the correct date.
And I don't know about anybody else, but Katie and I talked about this on the side, but I didn't see one thing come out about this. It was just on the website, if I'm right, and it sold out
Neither did
immediately.
Yeah,
I didn't even know about it. I was like, I didn't know we were.
It literally, as soon as I got the approval from St. Louis County, I started uploading it. I put it on the website right away and then put it in the pavilions. And by the time I was finished with all of it, they were already gone.
That's crazy. So we didn't even have a chance to push it.
Yes. Yeah. It would
How
just went
many
like that.
tickets?
Yeah, I have so many questions. So I mean, how many tickets? What did we sell them for? Like, give us the whole thing, because I don't think anybody here knows.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're maxed out at 50 people. So yeah, so that's where I think why it sold.
That's
so
why it went so fast. Okay.
Exactly. Yep. So that's only selling 8 tickets at $25 for a pod. So it's 6 people per pod. We went back and forth on, should we do 4 people in a pod? But if you think about it, a lot of people might have, 2 adult couples or a parent with their kids. So making sure that there's enough space for everybody. Ann and I discussed also after it sold out so fast for the future concerts, if we're still in the same situation with having to be at capacity, to up the ticket price and to help bring in a little bit more to cover costs.
Sorry, I just wanted to, so it's 6 per pod and it's $25 per pod. Is that what you said?
Yep. So $25 for a total of 6 people.
What's a pod?
6 people, like in a group.
In an area. Yep. So it'll be marked. So the grass over at Town Square will have spray paint. So each section is 6 feet from the one next to you. So we're properly socially distancing everybody. So if they're in their designated area, they are not required to wear their face mask. If anybody gets up to leave their designated area to use the restroom or get food or anything like that, then they'll have to put their face mask back on.
Do they sit in these pods or stand on their heads or what?
It's bring your own lawn chair or blanket.
Oh,
Yeah. Any other questions?
I was looking.
Yeah, under the city I'm sorry, go ahead, Dave. I interrupted.
No, you go ahead.
Under the city guidelines right now, and they change all the time, so I don't even know what the latest is. I know we're at 50% indoor dining. What is the guidelines for this? It's just 50 people period, or is it based on how much space we have there? Because I guess what I'm wondering is, by the time these concerts roll around, are we now opening up where they say we can have more, or do you anticipate this is where we'll be all summer?
Good question.
So I've talked with county to get the plan approved, and they don't have any timeline for when things are going to be opening up more. I have it set in the system, to stay within what they have. So right now, all of our concerts are set at 50 people max.
Okay.
However, we're not opening all of them at a time. We're only doing one at a time. So then if things
yeah.
change, I can go in, make those changes before we open up the next concert.
That's smart.
Yeah. So right now we're maxed out at 50 people. So as of what county has, it doesn't matter how big the area that you're in. It's a max of 50 people
In a gathering.
in a
Gotcha.
gathering. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That makes sense too. So when will you put the next one on sale? I guess is my next question, since these went so fast for people who don't even know that we were doing this.
It literally just went boom.
including this group.
Yeah.
Nobody in this group even knew it got approved and we were running with it. This really surprised all of us, I think.
So yeah. So that's again something Ann and I discussed how to go about the next one.
Okay.
And we are thinking, so at our May 14th concert, making an announcement, our June concert is this date at this time. Tickets go on sale Monday at 8 a.m. So
Okay.
then whoever wants, is interested, it's one set time. And when they open, it's first come, first serve. Yeah. And it'll be
Okay.
posted. We'll post that as well in the bulletin boards, through all of our other platforms as well.
Are you also limiting, how do I say this? If it's a big hit, I could see somebody going in and buying the whole thing out if it's only 50 people. So, and then they could be parsing them out to other people. So are you only allowing one person to buy a pod?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. It's one per person.
Okay.
How are you selling these sponsorships?
So that's what I was bringing to you guys to help with the outreach. Concerts.
Why now? But go on.
Do you have a specific question about it?
Yeah, how are you going to sell these things? How do you sell these sponsorships?
It's just the outreach to the local businesses.
You've got to sell these for some reason. How do you sell them on this thing?
I think, aren't you talking about the banners putting their names on?
$500 from somebody, you want $1,500 from somebody, you want $5,000, $7,500. What are you selling them for this money?
So on the budget, like what's it going to cover? Is that what you mean? Like what their sponsorship would cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, what they would get.
What do they get out of it?
Yeah.
So on the first page of the sponsorship series, you'll see underneath sponsorship opportunities, it tells you for their $500, this is what they're getting in return for it. And then on the budget
doesn't work in
sheet,
the sheet. Katie, this doesn't work here.
what do you
You've
mean?
got $7,500 for the entire summer series. You've already shot one series.
So for all 6 dates.
Haven't you sold out one already?
Correct. For attendance wise, yes.
So the $7,500 is now a moot point.
So their sponsorship money would cover, so the ticket cost for the attendance doesn't cover all the costs to have the event. So their sponsorship would help cover all of those costs.
No. What I'm saying is you're going to somebody and you're saying for $7,500, you'll be able to cover the whole series and we'll give you credit for this whole series. Is that not what you're saying?
Yes, they would be the presenting sponsor.
Okay, so if I go to Trip Straubs and I say, Trip, give me $7,500 and you get the whole series. And he says, oh, Bill, that's great. Let's do it. Only I can't do that because you've already sold one out.
Not the sponsorship though.
Yes.
Just the seats. So
Aren't you saying that if
sponsorship
Trip Straub sponsors it, then when the people who already bought their tickets show up that night, there will be banners about Straubs.
Yes.
There'll be, you see what I'm saying, Bill?
Oh, I see. Okay, now I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there'll be
it'll like Straub's will have signage there as a sponsor.
Yes.
This concert
Okay.
series brought to you by Straub's, the Diamond Bar,
Okay.
to
Okay,
Subway, or whoever,
right. And the 5,000, they get recognition and email and 1 free 4-hour pavilion rental. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I had a couple. One was where the location is. There's a big parking lot, obviously. Are we anticipating that people are probably just going to possibly just mill around without going out to the field, listen to the music from the parking lot? Is that an issue?
Yeah, so we are planning on having police staff there to help with that. We're going to have a volunteer working the parking lot with parking duties, and then we'll also have city staff there as well and police officers. So we're hoping with all those efforts, we'll be able to, eliminate that.
Okay.
Or minimize as best we can. Yeah.
Okay. The only other thing I had on the budget stuff first was regarding stage and lights. Now, I know a lot of the bands have their own setups that they bring out and all that. I'm assuming they're going to bring their own lights, or is there clarification on that? Because the first one I think wraps up at 9 o'clock, and it'll be darker by then.
Yeah, so the stage, for all the concerts except for the grand finale one, there's not going to be any stage or lighting provided. We are planning on them, and all the bands are fine with it. I've already, talked to them about it. They're going to just play on the concrete underneath the Edison lights. And so we did a city event, the photos with Santa that we did over at Town Square underneath the Edison lights, and it was plenty of lighting for it. And then we'll also have the pathway lights lit up as well.
Okay, good.
Good questions. Any other questions for Katie?
Yeah. So Katie, you told us that July is SOR and September you're looking for somebody, but who? I don't even know who's playing in May. Who's our May?
I got it pulled up right here.
May and June.
EJ Glazer and the Glazer and the Moon Kings.
Yep. So they're in May.
Who is it?
Glaze and the Moon Kings.
Glaze and the Moon Kings. Okay.
Yeah, and I see you writing it down. I can email this to you guys as well.
I'd love it. I'd love to see who
Yeah.
they are and what kind of music do they do? Just out of curiosity.
Acoustic Americana.
Okay.
Yep.
And then
So
June.
They're
Yep. June, we have Featherstone Drive.
Oh,
Rock.
yeah.
Then
Those are the guys
July-
in Mason Valley, right?
And then July, we have School of Rock.
Right.
August is the Dog's Breakfast.
Mhm.
The Dog's Breakfast.
Correct. Yep.
Yacht Rock, Party Rock.
Yes. I love it. I'm sorry, that's August, right?
Yes. August
Okay.
13th. Yep. September,
Okay.
we're still looking for a band. And
Okay.
then October, we have Rogers and Nienhaus.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And like I said, I can send this all to you guys in a list of the bands.
Yeah, I'd
and
love
their
to
genre of
see that.
music. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That'd be
Thank
great. And then food trucks, you guys are working on that?
Yeah, so we're thinking for the first concert, we're not going to have that for 50 people.
Yeah.
We're thinking bring your own food and drinks. There's only 50 people there. So to help eliminate some cost for the first one, hopefully we're opened up a little bit more by June that we can have a larger crowd and then look at, bringing food trucks. The other thing Ann and I discussed was for these bringing in our local restaurants. Not all of our local restaurants have food trucks available. So trying to support our local restaurants first.
I like it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Good.
You know what you could even do at some point as this rolls on, you could even have like Straub's or whoever the new people are going in, they could even do like little picnic boxes. You know what I mean? That you could buy to go in. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Ravinia outside of Chicago. It's a huge
Heard of it.
outdoor music concert. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And you can cater not that we're going to get that big, but you can get these little picnic boxes and it's like a little tie-in. They could be really cute.
Yeah.
Going forward.
I was going to reach out to, for especially our first one in May, I was going to reach out to Straub's, Subway and Starbucks right there and let
Yeah.
them know, hey, like we're having this event. If you guys want to run any specials, if you
Yeah.
do, let me know and I will post that.
Yeah,
So then
that's
maybe
great.
people will go to those businesses
Mhm.
before going in.
Yeah, I
And
love it.
we'll give them wristbands when they enter. So
Okay.
then they're just the paper wristbands. And so if they need to leave to go, to their car or go to Straub's or whatever else, when they come back, they just have to show the wristband. They don't have to go through the whole process of checking back in.
Gotcha. And then parking. I saw you said something about a shuttle. How do you envision?
So
Since it's only 50 people, will we have enough parking spots? Or no?
So yes, so with only having 8 tickets, and if you think maybe 2 couples meeting there, so 16 cars about,
Yeah.
we have the space there for it. We're planning on parking them furthest away from that green circle over there, kind of behind the Straub's building. I think there's like 15 or 16 spots along the wall. That way, the businesses that are there, their customers still have the primary parking.
Okay. And are we going to have somebody like doing this kind of thing? Park over here.
Yep. So
Like,
on the last.
how many volunteers and assistants do you need for this?
Yep. So if you go to the very last page of that packet for the concert series,
Yep.
I have the volunteers for our May concert. Now this, we may have to bump it up as we go if we get more people allowed at the event. So we're looking for just 1 volunteer
Right.
for the parking lot, 1 volunteer to monitor the entrance and exit, and then 1 to 2 of our members to staff our tent, our booth there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Did a great job.
Yeah, I'm so
I'll be happy to
excited.
volunteer. We can figure out, which.
Yeah,
which
I
to
told
get
Katie
going on.
I could do it too. And then we are trying to get, I guess we probably don't, well, I don't know. I'd reached out to the Town and Country Symphony, as you know, Katie, and they're not meeting right now. So they said, we'll check back in with them later in the year and see. But I got the sense maybe next year.
Yeah.
But I will follow up with the band and I will put them in touch with you. And as I committed last time, anything else you need me to do on this one,
Good.
let me know.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Katie, thank you. Let's move on. We're running a little bit over tonight. Memorial sculpture, Harry Weber. Do you want to talk about that for a moment or two?
Yep, I'll touch base on that real quick. So last meeting we discussed about using his small animals as a memorial, like we do with the tribute trees and benches, to put over at Town Square. So I have reached out to Harry and he is checking his inventory that he has. He does not think that he still has oh my gosh, what is it called? The clay that you use to sculpt it. Oh, I'm
Molds?
drawing the what?
The molds.
The mold. Thank you. Yes. He doesn't think he has the molds anymore. So I also asked him while he was checking his inventory to see if there's anything else that he thinks would be, I told him about our program and what we're trying to do with it, if he thinks would be a good idea to use. So once I hear back from him, I will be able to update you guys a little bit more.
Okay. Any other question or any questions from the commission? Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Let's move on to new business. I'll make this quick. There's been an interest in finding locations, installation sites for potential sculptures around the city. Is there anyone who would like to take on that project to identify those potential locations for sculptures?
Yeah, I mean, I can look in that.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any discussion from the commission about any thoughts on where David would pursue or look at? Or,
Yeah, if there's any guidance in terms of
Yeah.
generally the areas, commercial areas,
Yeah.
only public areas, that type of
Yes.
thing, I'm all ears.
okay. If you have any thoughts, please get those to David. Thank you very much.
David,
Yes.
I will let you know that when you're looking at places, if you're looking at like commercial properties and stuff like that, that's going to be a little bit easier or a little bit harder to do than if it's town and country property.
Makes
Right.
sense.
Much harder.
Got it.
Okay.
Cool.
Next meeting, oh, I'm sorry. Was there something? Did I? Okay. Other next meeting date is April the 14th at 6:30 via Zoom. And if everyone would log on about 6:15, that'd be great. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Okay, all in favor of adjournment? Aye.
Bye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you all. You're a great group. You really are. Thank you very much for all
Thank
of
you.
your efforts. They are appreciated. Thank you. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Me.
Be safe.
Have a great